Okay, in the last video we demonstrated how to debug two cores simultaneously in Nav ICS. In this video we want to show just a few of the other basic debug facilities. But before I do that, I want to show you how to launch both debug sessions in one operation. You can imagine that if you had 8 devices on your target and you wanted to launch debug sessions, doing them one after the other manually could get tiresome very quickly. So what we'll do is we'll go back up here, open our debug configurations dialog, and we notice this group over here called the launch group. This allows us to group multiple launches together and launch them simultaneously. So if we right click on that, select new, we create a new launch group here and we'll call it launch C0V0 and C0V1. And we'll add here both of these. I'll control click on those to select both of them, and then we'll click OK. Now they're listed, and they're listed in the order they'll be launched, and we want C0V0 to launch first. We can, if we wanted to, move these up and down to rearrange them. Okay, we click apply and we're done. We can click debug. We can see down here that the first one has started launching, so we'll let both of these launch. Our first one is done. And our second one is done. So now we can see up here we have our launch group here. We can collapse that one and we'll see that it's managing both of these launches here, both of which are currently running. So we'll take this one and we'll interrupt C0V0, and it shows us the code where we're at. So let's say, for instance, we want to set a breakpoint. Easy. We can come over here on this in the gutter here and double click, and now the breakpoint has been set. If we run this core again, it'll run and it'll hit the breakpoint and notifying us here that a breakpoint has been hit. Notice that the other core has continued to run throughout this entire operation. Let's interrupt that core, and we can see that it's interrupted in this loop, in this case statement here, which is the one running on C0V1. Here, this shows how you can inspect the value of a variable by simply floating the cursor over the variable. We can set a breakpoint at that line, and then we can run this core. It'll run and break when it hits that line. Up here, core 0 is still suspended on its breakpoint. Other facilities in the user interface, we have a breakpoint view. This shows both breakpoints that we have for both devices. We have a registers view. If we come up here, these views are context sensitive. If you click on C0V0, it'll show you the registers from C0V0. We can expand them out and see them. If you click on C0V1, it'll show the registers from that core. So whichever core is currently the focus in your debug context view is what controls what's displayed in the registers variable views. And that is a very quick, brief demonstration of breakpoints and run control while debugging.